they acted like it was crazy too, and it sort of became a nightmare that I put behind me, that I dreamt about it. It's like, I think it was a degree of post-traumatic stress disorder. It's like the whole world fell apart on me.
Okay.
And then I got into stuff in Bowling Green, it was almost the same thing, and I think a lot of this, I really do have issues with autism, and it's me not understanding, and maybe even getting a little bit overly scared, but to me it ain't getting overly scared because I truly was helpless in understanding what I need to do, defend myself, who to get. I mean, when you go to people to help protect, I mean, like the Bowling Green police, what they're claiming is bullshit, because the reality of it is I was telling them that I was a victim, and they didn't give a crap. They're waiting for me to get more and more bent out of shape so they can collect evidence. And this is the same tactic the prosecutor used. And there's evidence to show it. And when you start looking at the details of everything, you find out it's like, I've been told sometimes you're not, if you're in a situation where all of a sudden they might turn around and say you're guilty,
right.
Sometimes it ain't worth contacting the police. The only thing is if it's a felony, it might be dangerous not to, because if you know about felony, then you could still get in trouble.
Now, this is, you just brought a good point. If you know that you are not going to win this, why do you keep having a confrontation with these people? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you.
Oh, I'm not going to go down and pick it.
Not again, you're not.
Not in Bowling Green, anyway.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. It would be smart for you not to do it anyway. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this right here is going to follow you no matter where you go.
Well,
one of the conditions of your probation for the next 2 years is that you are not supposed to take it or
well, where does it say that? Nothing I got said that. Unless they sent you something they didn't send me.
Reducing canvas.
You see, the other side of this is that's evidence to go to the federal government.
No person shall cause serious public inconvenience or alarm by doing the following.
Right.
Any offense with reckless disregard or the likelihood that its commission will cause serious public inconvenience.
What happened in that video happened before I went back to court and everything, and because of them calling me crazy and everything, it's a pattern of conduct I've talked about again and again, that they tried to influence because part of this whole case is my psychological state of mind. And it really helps them in my case for sheriff deputies to come in and slander my name in front of. And it ain't just me directly, it's the fact that now I have a roommate who has good reason to move out, and I don't blame her, so she's going to have to, and I'm going to go without. They were trying to destroy my emotional support, and this is a pattern of conduct that started 10 years ago.
Ultimately, let me ask you this. Ultimately, what is your goal? What is your goal behind doing?
Exposing the truth, exposing what their real motives have been against me in Bowling Green all this time. And nobody would listen to me.
But I'm going to tell you, man, sometimes the ends just don't justify the means. They don't.
Like what they did to me.
I agree with you. From what I've seen on that camera, it was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I mean, about the way they talked about you being crazy and all the rest of that stuff. That's inappropriate. You know what I'm saying?
See, the problem I have is the military taught me to be better. I was in military intelligence, top secret clearance. And they didn't want somebody that's going to hurt the government like loose lips sink ships. They didn't, and they also didn't want somebody that would tolerate corruption because it's a sensitive area in military intelligence. I was working on electronics, but still I could be exposed to top secret information trying to repair stuff, not to mention some of our equipment. I risked my life against an enemy from the outside. And I've seen a greater enemy on the inside, and it's called abuse of power. It's called corruption.
Which it occurs. It occurs everywhere. But what I'm trying to tell you is, this is not something that you can do by yourself. You are going to go to jail a lot. You're going to spend a lot of money. And you are going to make very, very little progress because one person cannot do it. You're talking about basically taking on a whole department. And it ain't going to happen with one person. Because they're going to think, oh, He's just one person that's fucking mad and
That's
revengeful.
That's how, well, there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot more than I've even, for instance, the certified letter from the jail that I got previously, because originally they had me a night in jail, released me, then they had got me on the warrant. Well, because the original night in jail, they had me sleeping on a mat near the floor. I wrote to them the dangers to me being a paralyzed person, and they basically wrote the law by says if you can ensure that I'm not going to be hurt in the future if this happens. I wasn't planning to go back again. But I didn't, knowing that, the situation, it's not possible. Or if I'm found guilty, that they were breaking the law and hurting me. And this jail's been sued before by somebody who won.
Bowling Green?
The Wood County jail. Yeah, it was a deaf person, and they didn't seem to care that he didn't know what was going on. They didn't bother writing anything down for him. So he ended up getting hurt. And there's other issues there. I didn't know that I could have been bonded the moment I was in jail because I had the money to bond myself. But nobody told me how it worked. Nobody gave a damn. Even when my roommate came down to bond me out, they wouldn't let me sign the credit card thing that she, all she would have to do is get them to run the credit card, bring me the slip to have them sign it, and but no, they wouldn't let that happen or anything. And technically, they've probably gotten away with it, but and it's all these things. And the thing is the sort of person I am, these are things that are wrong.
I agree with you, but what I'm saying is that you got to pick your battles.
Well, I know how to get a lot of support, though.
How?
On the Bowling Green website, the list names and addresses of every person who's been a criminal. And there's nothing in the law.
Some of those criminals are going to be legitimate, though.
True. But looking to them for support.
Why would you look to them for support?
Because a lot of them may be innocent, too. And even the guilty ones might be interested in.
If you start digging this up even further, dude, they're going to bury you with this.
Then they make me into a martyr, because that's what people who
You're
are.
not going to be a martyr.
Well,
people.
Nobody in civil rights is like saying, the lady on the bus, what would make her a martyr either.
Well, civil rights was a little different.
How is it different than the people like me who are out there that are afraid to do anything because they've been called nuts? There is a civil rights movement starting in mental health.
Has not started. Civil rights was a big thing because you had so many people that were involved and so many people that were affected. So many people, you got to remember, when Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, she had the backing of everyone that was part of the civil rights movement.
Right.
Who do you have the backing of?
Well, other than God, I guess, not a lot, a handful of people.
This, right now, at this particular time, may not be the best time to actually start addressing this. I would at least wait until I got off probation, and then I would investigate to see how many people I can actually truly count on prior to actually. I mean, because there's a statute of limitations that you have before you have to file on stuff like that anyway. I would make sure that I'm off probation. Okay, I would make sure that I have adequate backing, and then I would pursue it. I'm not telling you not to pursue it. What I'm telling you is that right now, considering everything that you have going on, this is not the best time to be doing it.
I know, they've engineered it quite well to make me look like...
They sure have. I mean, basically, you have to be, for the most part, silent. There's not really a whole lot you can say.
So you agree that they've found a way to silence my civil rights and...
I agree that they have you between a rock and a hard spot. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's not worth going to prison over. It's really not.
Yeah, and they've told me that a lot of times, too. That's one of the things I wish I'd recorded in the past.
It's not worth going to prison over. It's not worth having your name on, like, do you realize that there are certain people that have made various different threats to, senators, judges, presidents, etc., etc., etc. Their name is like red flag. You know what I mean? Well,
the way I understand it, my name already is a red flag. I still have nightmares about the stuff. Until the nightmares go away, I can't... is somebody going to make the nightmares go away? That's why I've been arguing with the VA. They haven't taken the idea that I have post-traumatic stress disorder seriously.
Yeah, your nightmares are